underneath the unassuming exterior of this Infiniti Q60 Coupe lies a secret, a 400 horsepower secret. The Infiniti Q60 Red Sport 400 takes an already attractive car and turns the fun knob to its highest setting, although it's not exactly without its trade-offs. Here's 5 things you need to know. The Q60's design isn't exactly the newest on the block, but it is still a stunner. The proportions are really good, especially up front, where there are so many curves the Kardashians are thinking of filing a lawsuit. Now, the interior is a little less enthralling with a cramped rear seat and a dashboard design that's slowly moving from wired to tired, but the leather is cushy and my tester's silver trim, well, it's drop-dead gorgeous. Now, the plastic covers, they may not look very impressive, but the Red Sport 400's twin-turbo V6, well, doesn't exactly care about what you think. It puts out 400 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. On my tester, that's sent through all 4 wheels, but rear-wheel drive is also available. Now, if you get up close to the exhaust tips out back, you get a real nice bassy note, but things inside the car, well, they never really get too crazy until you're working your way all the way up the rev range. Now, all this power makes for a pretty fun drive with lots of torque on tap across the rev range and little turbo lag to show for it. The 7-speed automatic transmission in my tester does a reasonably good job going through the gears, but it lacks the polish of 8-speed units that I've tested. And while the brakes are mighty fine, the steering leaves a lot to be desired, to be honest. Now, I do lack the optional steer-by-wire system that is available, but even this regular unit still is a pretty numb experience overall. But once you do throw it into a corner though, the adaptive suspension does a pretty darn good job of sorting everything out. Now, while the engine and looks might delight, the tech really doesn't. There's a 2-screen setup on the infotainment here, and the top one rocks weird OG Garmin graphics, and compared to the newer style on the screen below, everything just feels kind of disparate. To make matters worse, the backup camera resolution isn't very good, there's no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and everything on the lower screen is arranged kind of oddly. On the safety front, auto brake is standard, but if you're looking for things like parking sensors or blind spot monitoring, well, be prepared to pay $2,250 at the minimum. For as old as some of the underlying bits are, the Q60 Red Sport 400 is still a little on the expensive side. Rear-wheel drive will cost you $54,900, whereas my tester starts at $56,900 because it's all-wheel drive. Now, if you throw in a few options like some light aesthetic enhancements and some safety systems like my tester here has, it rings in at a lofty $64,130, including destination. Now, that's a little bit lower than you would find in other competitors in the segment, but then again, those competitors do have youth and sprightliness on their side. Now, it might not be the flashiest kid on the block with all the newest gear, but the Infiniti Q60 Red Sport 400 is still a hoot. If Infiniti revisited the steering and telematics, it might even be more compelling, but as it stands, it's already a fun little value.